I went to bed every night and woke up panicking, checking my phone, did my affirmations, and I told myself I was manifesting. But all I was really doing, I was hoping, and that hope came from lack. But the moment I stopped waiting and started embodying, I am the one already chosen, the mirror flipped, and so did she. In this video, I'm answering the 3 questions my clients ask me the most. 1, why hasn't my SP shown up even though I've been doing the work? 2, what part of my self-concept is actually keeping them away? And 3, what's the one mindset shift keeping them from coming? And how do I shift it? So if you've been doing the work, but nothing is showing up, if they're still gone, I will show you what's really happening in the mirror and what has to shift before anything can. And by the way, if you want my help personally, there is a link below. So question number 1 that I get asked, why hasn't my SP shown up even though I have been doing the work? Because I hear you. You've been doing the affirmations, watching the videos, and feeling like you're doing the work. But here's the truth most of us avoid. You're still waiting. Waiting is not doing, becoming, or embodying. Waiting is a state of lack. And the mirror doesn't show you and I what we wish. It reflects who you are. So if you're looking at your reality and it's showing you they're still not there, they're still not here, this is not a punishment because there is nothing out there for you or them to fix. It's a reflection and a projection of your inner state. You're unconsciously running as your I am awareness and state of consciousness. You see, the mirror principle says the outer world is a faithful reflection of the inner world. So until you change the source code, the screen stays the same. I know. Hear me out. This means if your SP hasn't come back, if they're not here, it's not because they won't. It's because you're still telling the same story that he or she is not there. And this is projecting a version of yourself and them as well, who isn't chosen, who's not choosing you, who's still trying, you who's still hoping, who's still waiting. So here's why your SP is not showing up, even though you have been doing the work, because the mirror is not broken. You're just replaying the same reflection. Once you shift your identity to the one who already has the love, the mirror has to change. There's no choice because reality is obedient. The reflection will always follow the original subject in front of the mirror. This will help you understand. Imagine you're standing at the gym in front of a mirror, lifting a 5-pound weight. And every day you stare there at your reflection, lifting that same 5 pounds, hoping that you will get stronger in a more toned version of yourself. But if you never change the weight, if you never train any differently, you just look and hope. This is what most people are doing when it comes to manifesting, hoping, prayer, and doing processes. You see, they're staring at the mirror of reality, waiting for it to show them something new without changing the inner identity that is being reflected itself. Look, reality isn't broken. It's just loyal to what you are, not what you want. So if the mirror is only reflecting what you are, not what you want, what part of you is still broadcasting the assumption of I am not, I am alone? Where is my SP even while you're affirming love? Next, question number 2. What part of my self-concept is actually keeping them away? Now listen closely. You're not manifesting a person. You're manifesting yourself in relation to them. Meaning, if they're distant, if they're ignoring you, if they're with someone else, it's not about them or the third parties or even what you think you did or that you think that they did wrong. It's about the version of you they're responding to. Did you hear that? You blaming yourself or them, your story that you're talking about, this, how it always happens to you in every relationship. Does this sound familiar? Well, guess what? If that's what you're saying, you are right. You're always right. So do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? This is what Neville meant when he said to be conscious of being poor while praying for riches is to be rewarded with that which you are conscious of being, which is poverty. So in other words, your SP is responding to the version of you that you believe you are. So if deep down you feel unchosen, you feel anxious or afraid they'll leave again, the mirror has no choice but to reflect that fear. And no process or technique done by any manifesting or reality creation coach done from that state of lack of consciousness, the victimness, none of it matters. Sure, you'll have some tiny, inconsistent changes that will make you get happy and frustrated over and over again like a loop, but nothing sticks once you shift your self-concept, not by force, not by pretending, but by choosing, by embodying, by declaring, I am the chosen, I am blessed. The matrix, the simulation, and the mirror flips. It reflects. They'll text. They'll show up. They'll mirror the love that you've anchored your own identity in. So to answer the question, what part of my self-concept is actually keeping them away is this. What you believe about your self-concept is actually their behavior. Because the truth is, people don't decide to love you. Love is your natural state of being, your Christ consciousness, your Buddha nature, and they reflect the love that is you. Check this out. You're Google or you're on YouTube and you put in the search term, you type, why am I never chosen? Boom. Pages and pages of content and video and commentary about why is my SP distant? Why are they ghosting me? There's third parties involved. In other words, the question gets the algorithm, the reflection to confirm your question as you asked it from lack. It just confirms what you already think you know. And you give all the meaning to it. You think this is supporting how I'm already assuming, and you think it's right. And by the way, the same thing happens when you talk to your friends and family or post on a Facebook group about attachment styles or toxic relationships, etc. You're in an echo chamber and the echo is you. But you type in, I am loved, I am secure, I am chosen. The algorithm shifts. Now reality serves up evidence and the reflection that match that. People support you. And when they don't, you don't care what they say because your search is providing you that proof that you accept that is who you truly are. Because the universe is always listening. It's just returning search results based on what you keep typing in and affirming as your I am. Again, if you're struggling with knowing this, but actually living it, I have a link to my one-on-one coaching below. So what's the actual shift? The real change that makes your reflection and your SP flip instantly? It's the one thought. And I'll give it to you next with question number 3. So question number 3, what is the one mindset shift keeping them from coming back? And how do I shift it? Here it is. If reality is a mirror, and it is, then it doesn't respond to begging, praying, or manifesting. And it doesn't respond to hoping, wishing, waiting, or tactics based on your and their attachment style or whatever label you heard on Facebook and you're putting on them. None of that either. It only reflects your being, your state of consciousness, your I am. Here's the thought that changes your life and brings them back without force. Write this one down. I am the version of who is loved, chosen, and wanted. Now see, when you embody that as your persistent and dominant state of awareness, meaning consistently, your SP has no choice. And not because you're manipulating them, not because you're changing them or fixing them, but because your holographic reality goes to reflect from the infinite possibilities and from the version of you that you've now become, the one that you choose. Neville called this living in the end. It means feeling the wish fulfilled so clearly and naturally that there's nothing left to chase. And here's the miracle. The moment you shift from, I want them to come back, or I need them to come back, well, where are they now and who are they with? Shifting to, of course they're mine, because I am the one they love. Everything flips and shifts. Now, what does this look like in your life? It looks like you stopping checking your phone for their text or their calls. You stop obsessing over the signs and the feedback from y'all's friends and what you've heard about them. And you stop keeping a score. You stop telling the old story to the mirror of your experience of reality, and they show up. Not because you forced it, but because the mirror has no choice, because you are the mirror. So to answer the one mindset shift, keeping them from coming, and how do I shift it? It's this. The one thought that changes everything. I already am. See, it's like this. You're the projector in a movie theater. Your I am state of awareness is the film, and reality, the screen. So if you keep loading up the same feature-length film of I'm not chosen, you'll keep seeing rejection, scene after scene after scene. And you know what I'm talking about. You play this even when you're in the shower, doing your laundry. You even make your friends and family watch it too, don't you? When you change to the latest #1 on the top 10 that just landed on Netflix titles of I am loved, I am chosen, the whole experience of the movie, your reality changes because you don't chase the screen. You change the reel inside of the projector. So in this case, you switch from the film to streaming service, but you get the point. So go back, watch this again, not as a video, but as a mirror, because until your reflection changes, your SP can't. But when you become the one who is already loved, love finds its way back every time. I'm your host, Anthony Cortino, Sacred Cobra. Remember, you're sacred, you are worthy, and you are loved. I'll see you next time. Cheers.